Amma Ba'at, my dear Muslim brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Last week we have begun to talk about the things that a neighbor is not expected to do to his fellow neighbor, and we have categorized the topic into three fundamental aspects. We said there are some things which a neighbor should refrain from, and there are things that are compulsory, and there are things that are supererogatory, meaning things that are optional. And these categorizations are done by myself, but all what I have mentioned, the fact I have mentioned, I have extracted them from the book Minhaj al-Muslim, which was written by Sheikh Abu Bakr Jabir al-Jazairi, and some part of the information from the book Riyadh al-Salihin and the verses from the Holy Quran. Last week we have made mention of the fact that a roommate is not expected to disturb the peace of his fellow roommate, and he should also not disturb him when he is reading by playing music and what have you. And the third thing in the agenda is that a fellow neighbor should not form a wrong opinion about his neighbor, about his roommate. Don't to form a wrong opinion, a negative opinion, an evil conjecture against your fellow mate by interpreting him negatively. Whatever he does, you look at it negatively. You should always have a free mind and have a good opinion of the person whom you are together with. ظنوا بالمؤمنين خيرا. You are to think good of a Muslim, and in another book, just to keep the verse because of the time factor. This is this. Then number 4, do not backbite. You are 4 in the room, or you are 3. But when one out of you went outside, then the remaining occupants of the room engage in backbiting the person that has just gone out. This is not good. وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا. Giver is very wrong, is very evil. If he does something wrong, why can't you talk to him? You should talk to him directly. But now he went outside of the room, but you engage in discussion with other person. And when he comes back and meet you discussing, then what are you going to do? It will not make sense. This is backbiting. And if what you are saying against him, he did not commit it, then it is no longer a backbiting, but a slander, buhutan. And slander is by far more heinous and dangerous than the backbiting itself. And we should avoid this. And number 5, you should not create enmity. Don't create enmity between one person and another. For instance, by telling him about what the other person did to him, maybe in his absence, maybe by saying, are you the one who permits so person to be using you and these things and that? But I don't know. Wallahi, take your things and do this and that. Creating enmity between one person and another. This is another bad behavior which we should avoid. La yadkhulul jannata namam, as it comes in the hadith. And namim will never enter the paradise. Then number 7, do not spy. Spying, meaning if your roommate keeps something, maybe he comes with a plus and keep it. Don't come and uncover the plus and see what is inside. This is haram. Or he kept a piece of paper on his desk and you come and read the paper. It is not allowed. Or to keep on spying his action from time to time. Maybe he doesn't come back on time, maybe until very late in the night. And you engage yourself in spying and say, let me today go and see where that person is going. Why doesn't you come back home until 1 o'clock p.m.? You just engage yourself in spying and controlling his action. This is bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا يَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اجْتَنِبُوا كَثِيرًا مِنَ الظَّنِّ to the end of the verse. And number 8, do not to disrecognize the gifts he gave you. If you give you something, however little it is, you should consider it, you should recognize it. Let's say he bought 3 bunches of banana. Out of the 3 bunches of banana, you may think that he is going to give you 3 or 4 or even half of a bunch. But he take one and he split it into 2 and he give you the half. Don't say, I know, take it. No, I don't. Don't do this. Collect it and respect it and show your gratitude. Because the Prophet ﷺ says, Ya nisa al-muslimat, la tahqiranna jaratun li jaratiha walau fursana shatin. He says, oh Muslim women, a neighbor should not disrecognize the gift given to her by a neighbor, even if it is a hoop of a goat. The goat has a hoop, and that hoop is not eaten completely. But let's say it is eaten. So it is washed away and it is cooked. Only 1 hoop of a goat and put in a small container and give it to the neighbor. She should collect it and respect it. She should not reject it. And number 9, do not to embarrass him. Don't talk to him in a delectable way. Try to talk to him using a very lenient way. If he does something wrong, then say, don't you see where you have just come and do this? Don't be talking this mode. Try to be using a good and suitable words. Because the Prophet ﷺ says, كل المسلم على المسلم حرام دمه وماله وإرضه. Meaning that you should respect the feeling of a Muslim in any way. And do not sell out your goods without first contacting him. You have a mobile handset. Don't sell it out to another person from another room without first contacting him. You should advertise it to him and say, please, would you buy this handset? If he rejects, then you sell it to another person. And number 10, do not whisper in private. You are 3 in the room. Don't to come and call one person and say, I want to see you in camera, and leave the other person isolated. Don't do this. It is prohibited. The Prophet ﷺ says, La yatanajani ithnani duna thalith. Meaning the 2 people will not to talk in private and leave the other person isolated. Unless when another person comes and you call him and you attach him to that person, then you will be able to take the other person and talk to him in private. Or you talk in Arabic language while the 3rd person is not understanding Arabic. You should speak in English if it is the language that is understood by all and sundry. With this very few words of mine, I said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.